near Lake of Atlanta. Today I am going to make a warm apple crisp with you. I don't know about you, but fall is one of my favorite seasons, and there's nothing better than that scent of cinnamon coming out of the oven. So this is a take on an apple crisp that is just a little bit healthier. It comes from one of my good friend's recipes, Heather's Holistic Health Coaching. I follow her blog and I get tons of healthy recipes from there. For this one, Granny Smith apples, best apples to go ahead and use with baking. And so I've sliced those rather thinly here, and I've placed them in my cast iron. If you don't have a cast iron, feel free to do this entire recipe in a Pyrex glass dish. Any type of baking dish that you have, something that can go in the oven is what you're really looking for here. Once you slice the apples, what you'll want to do is just take a lemon and do a little squeeze across them. This will just keep them from oxidizing too much, keep them from turning that brown color. Just mix it in. And then is now the time for the seasoning. And you can do seasonings any way you like. So this is a pre-mixed seasoning. I have cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, and cloves in here. I actually make a jar at the start of the fall season for myself, and I use this on everything. I might put a dash of it on the top of my coffee in the morning. Sometimes I just sprinkle it on top of some oats if I'm having some yogurt and oats in the morning. So it's really versatile. So I just go ahead and make a full batch of this. But for this recipe, you'll just put a little bit in here. In total, you'll want about 2 teaspoons, and you're gonna put half of it directly on the apples here. And again, just mix it right up. And it's fine to use your hands for this. This is a great recipe to get the little ones involved in the kitchen, just learning textures and flavors, while having mom nearby to use the knife here while we're chopping things. So once your apples are ready, now we'll work on the crumb topping. For this one, you'll need 2 cups of oats, and then you'll want 6 tablespoons of flour. I have regular flour here, just regular all-purpose flour. However, if you are gluten-free, this recipe can be done with almond flour. If you'd prefer rice flour, again, rice flour. So feel free to use any type of flour that works for you and your family. You'll mix that in. You'll mix the rest of the spices right in there. And then we've got butter here as well. You'll want to make sure it's nice and softened. It doesn't have to be melted though, just softened butter. Once it's in the oven, it'll melt right down here on the crumb, so no worries there. And then instead of sugar, we use a natural sweetener of maple syrup or honey. So highly encourage the natural sweeteners here rather than the pure white sugar. But again, if you don't have maple syrup and you have a little bit of sugar, feel free to add a little bit of sugar into this recipe. You'll go ahead and mix that right up. This again, it's just oats and flour and butter. It's something that if you've got your little ones there with you and you want to have them involved, feel free to ditch the spoon and just kind of rub it together with your fingers here. You just want to make sure that it's nice and well bound and a little crumbly here with the butter mixing in with the flour and the oats. Once that's ready, you're going to pour this right on top of those prepared apples. And then you will flatten it out here. Make sure that everything's covered. Make sure that your oats are wet here, that will keep it from burning. And so you just want to make sure that everything got a little bit of that maple syrup or honey or butter mixed on top of it, so that it doesn't burn in one section. So everything, make sure it's nice and wet, and then you'll be able to stick this in the oven. And it'll go in the oven at 375 for about 45 minutes or until everything's kind of bubbly. So do watch it. If your oven's more powerful, you might want to take a little bit less time. And if your oven's not as powerful, it might take closer to 50 minutes. So just watch it, because you're going to want that nice golden brown top and everything to be a little bit bubbly, and all of those apples to be soft to the touch, almost like a chunky applesauce. So after 45 minutes in the oven, you'll get this nice crispy texture on the outside and soft to the touch apples that just break apart with just a spoon. This tastes delicious warm. It is also just as delicious cold, so you can save it for the next day, or heat it up in the microwave as well. This makes a delicious dessert at the end of a meal. It can also be served with yogurt in the morning for a nice sweet taste to your yogurt. We hope you enjoy it.